Hey!
Hi. Hello.
And welcome to
the Partner Panel. Little forewarning for everybody here. You can be heard. They can now hear us. I'm just saying this shit out loud. We've started. We've had several instances in the past that people just clearly can't tell when we start talking. And it's like, wait. Yo, you should be recording this. Like, motherfucker, we've been recording for 20 minutes. What do you mean?
Hey, shout out to J-Pie. We got you, buddy.
Oh, J-Pie. Yo, we need to get him in here again.
Yeah, let's get him back here. J-Pie, if you're hearing this, come find us.
Oh, man. But no. So, what's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us, Mangoose and Stunt. Bearded is here as always. At this point, you know, if y'all don't know that he's co-host, welcome. Yeah, I'm assuming you're brand new. How are you? But no, here's the thing. I understand that there was no official update with Fault recently, right?
Right.
And that's fine. We anticipated that because they announced the fact that, you know, they're going to be slowing down and stuff like that. But we're still going to be doing our Fault Partner Panel updates. We're going to, talk about current event stuff, you know, that they announce and such. But even if there is nothing new to talk about, I do want to take this opportunity to do as much community outreach as possible, too. You feel me?
Yes.
I want us to be able to talk to the community, get the community's opinions, talk about things that the community really has concerns about and things that really need to be voiced a little bit louder, as opposed to I wrote it in Discord and it got ignored, right? But I wanted to overall talk about a general subject with you guys, and you guys let me know how it goes, what direction you want to go with, and etc. But one person in the YouTube comments wrote this, and I think it resonated, and it's so accurate. And that statement was, the loyalty that some of these players have to this game is what's killing the game. How do you guys feel about that?
I just want to say real quick that Ed Monarch says that we are loud as fuck.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Lower. I mean, you have an option. There's a volume filter right there, bro. You don't got to be at 100%. I'm gonna be real with you, but thank you. At least we coming through loud and clear. I appreciate you. Right?
Well, I mean, you get this with the fans of every game, is that people will white knight the dog shit out of their game. And it seems to be like they think that they're going to garner some sort of support from the company by white knighting for them. They're not. And it's not just Fault. It's Predecessor. It's Overprime. All of them. It seems like the game that they support can do no wrong, and everything any other game does is wrong. And that's a problem because it creates unrealistic scenarios. If you don't criticize a game for the things that they have done wrong, then they don't know that they're doing wrong. And if you, what was the analogy I said? I said that I said this about Predecessor's last alpha. I said I'm not going to call a turd a candy bar just because I like the ass it came out of. I love Ameda Studios, but their last alpha was a turd. And I'm not going to tell everybody that it was a candy bar because it wasn't.
You're talking about the stress test, right?
The stress test. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just know that they're pretty adamant about not being alpha, so I want to make sure we got that.
It's the same thing with Fault. People will say that things are great about Fault that aren't. And it's a problem that everybody needs to get past. They need to be honest about what they're talking about, not just blindly loyal to whatever game that they've decided that they enjoy the most.
Now, it's important also, like what we're talking about technically goes for any game out there, player base, etc. Right?
Right.
But yeah, man, like one of the biggest things that I've seen, and I'm a little bit on the fence on this specific, you know, like subject in its own, because I understand both sides. It's the fact that a good player with a low player base gets punished for being good. and they're almost forced to create a Smurf just to be able to find a game. But then comes the ripple effect that them playing on a Smurf affects the rest of the community, because now they're playing with other players that they shouldn't be playing with. But it's either play against people that you're better than, or you don't get to play at all.
Last night, it happened to me. It happened to me last night. We had that, that I'm in placement matches person, and they were played it as Greystone and didn't die one time, and then they played as Kalari and they just outkilled everybody. You could take their kills, add our team kills up, and their team kills up minus them, and we still didn't add up to the amount of kills. And this is placement matches? Get me out! Come on! And it wasn't fun. I'm somebody who loves this game. I am that loyal person, but I'm not out here. I don't have a Smurf. You can go check anything. I don't have a Smurf. I have no reason to Smurf. I know I'm bad at the game. It's fine. But that makes it not fun at all.
Yeah, we got shit.
If you're complaining about not having, if you're complaining because having a small player base, you just going and shitting on people is just going to make that player base even smaller. Because you're not going to always land on somebody that's a loyal player like me. Yes, I'm going to keep playing, right? You're going to land on somebody yeah, I don't want to deal with this. And I'm gone.
Which, again, back to the original subject, the loyal players that play this game so often that have become better than somebody new can't find matches. So they're honestly, think of it like this. We all know here that the average person that plays this game every single day is likely to have more than one account. I'm talking about
I'm sorry, say it again.
The average person that plays every single day Fault, they probably have more than one account.
Yeah, I can see that.
How many people have you run into, or how many people do you play with, and you just instantly in the middle of a match, you're like, oh, that's that person in a different account. Okay. Oh, that's that person. I know that's that squad. That's all their Smurf accounts or whatever, right?
Right.
At this point, it's become normal to us, right? But where's where do you find the balance at such a small player base? Because the problem is, yes, that loyalty and wanting to play the game so much that you go to a newer account drives away newer players, because nobody wants to play a game and get dicked on for the first 40 hours. Right?
I don't know.
They want to be at people at their level when they at least stood a chance, even if they lose, not get absolutely destroyed. Right. So, where's the middle ground?
Patch 14, so then I can play AI matches and not have to worry about it.
Yeah, that could be.
And then guess what? Guess what? All those masters that want to get Smurf accounts, go ahead and be a Smurf. So you're not going to find a match anyways, because I'll be playing in AI matches. I want nothing to do with it. That last night, those two matches were not fun.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's hard to have fun when you lose, right? But it's almost impossible to have fun when you don't have a chance at winning. And I think that's a bigger difference,
Well, yeah, it's not hard to have fun when you lose, right? Me and Mangoose had a game. We played against Styles. Styles was our opponent ADC, and we were going back and forth. It was a great game. It was a close game. Mangoose made a YouTube video about it. It was literally was the game that you this is what you have love having. Styles came to me the next day in Discord and said, "Hey man, I know we said it last night." He's like, "But that game was fun." He ended up losing, and he still came to me the next day and said that game was fun. That's the matches you want to have, because we were at equal play. We were at equal playing ground. It was a good game. It was back and forth the whole way. It was a fun game. That's what the game should be like. Not all right, here we go. We know we're going against this guy. Now we have no chance at all. What do we do here?
And the cherry on top is when they start using an unorthodox type of build, which makes it worse. Those newer players, you'll get a Narbash jungle and he still shits on the new players. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes it even worse, because I've seen players that get fed up and they leave halfway. Alt F4 and just leave.
So Monarch is comparing a AAA game to an independent company here, or an independent indie dev company here, saying that Paragon was on track to hit over 1 million active players in early 2017. Fault is barely getting 178 peak active times. One's a AAA company that can just show up this shiny, beautiful game, and it's also new. And also, guess what? Paragon didn't have. Paragon didn't have a game like Predecessor where that's splitting the community up.
Hold on. I want to fix a couple of those numbers, because in 2017, Paragon wasn't even released.
Okay, yeah, I'm just reading what he said. But okay,
no, Paragon released 2016.
Was it 2016?
Okay.
Was it August 2016?
Mm-hmm.
So 2017, that would put it then right before V42, if that's the case. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because
the V42 before that.
Was it?
No, V42. I always get confused with.
Yeah, V42 was the new card system.
It's possible, because we would have played at least maybe a year of the new card system before it shut down. So it was possible that.
Well,
anyway,
I was about to say, regardless.
Obviously, Strange Matter is not going to garner the same amount of player base as Paragon did. However, Paragon, we can look at trends though. Like, they're not going to get the same. They're not going to get 1 million players, but Paragon constantly increased their player base throughout when they were alive, whereas Fault has gone up and down and up and down and up and down.
Right.
And as you said, Bearded, a lot of that has to do with a split player base between Overprime and Predecessor and Fault.
Yep. No, a lot of it, but he's talking about half baking a new hero, throwing it into the mix. How do you increase engagement? So he's talking about how Fault will bring you here you go, here's a new hero, and then that's nothing going on. Again, you're comparing a AAA company to an indie dev company. That AAA company has how many people working on it? How many people working on just the hero itself? How many people working on the map? The indie dev company is a lot smaller, and it's a lot harder to do that.
Well, I think it's also worth mentioning that.
Make me sound. I know I do myself as a white knight, but you're making me sound even more like a white knight. I'm not even trying to. But let's but into this.
It also worth mentioning that by the time the player base that he's talking about, right? By that point, they'd already been on the PlayStation Store in the free section and front page of PlayStation, multiple times for year and a half minimum. You get me?
Yeah.
Has Fault even shown up on any Steam event?
Oh, I mean, they haven't even done any marketing events. Like, Paragon was marketing the crap out of it without having to just
Did they though? They didn't really market Paragon?
Well, in
Not
2016, before, maybe not, but the trailer of Paragon was enough to just show your friends around. You know what I mean? That's what I remember in 2016. Before
I think being in the free section of PlayStation was all the marketing that they needed,
Yes.
and they saw how much they got off of that, and they were like, "Bro, I'm gonna be real with you. Let's not even waste money in advertising and marketing and shit. We just gotta keep the console players happy." They made up over 70% of the marketplace. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Paragon player base or whatever.
That's nail on the fucking head right there. Paragon being a free game is what brought people in. Fault is not a free game yet. Will it be in the future? Yes, right. I think so. I think that's when they'll take off. That's another thing I want to kind of talk about a little bit is the period right now doesn't matter that much. It's when they full release and start advertising.
When it's free to play.
When it's free to play, if we don't see a huge increase in player base and we don't see constant increasing numbers, maybe not the same comparable numbers to what Paragon had, but at least increasing numbers, then that's when we're going to have a problem. Right now, Predecessor, Overprime, Fault, none of it matters right now until their full release and actually out there.
I've always said it was a race to full release. Out of
It's
all
a race
three
to get
of
on
them,
PlayStation, is what it is for real.
well, that not necessarily. I think you do it both with PC. That first one to full release, I think PlayStation's got a big notch. It's a good hurdle to get over, and once you're over the hurdle, then you're definitely in the lead. But I think the first company that can come out and do full release, that's going to get a lot of that new, because they both, neither one of these companies, I always throw Overprime to the side because they're nobody in my opinion until they can actually get on Steam. So neither one of Predecessor or Predecessor or Fault can grow just off of Paragon. Like they need to branch out.
Not at all.
Find a new player base.
It's grasping for straws.
Going full release and being free to play is going to bring brand new people in, and that's really that's going to be the whole Paragon. Sell it word of mouth, YouTube videos, and go that way. Because then hey, we got some brand new people in here. This is what we need. We're already getting new people as it is by not doing anything. It's literally 13. We're on patch 13.13 right now, right? Or 13.14, whatever one it is, and we're still getting new people. I'm going in. I'm like, I don't know any of these people, and I'm telling you, they're not Smurfs. You can tell by how well they play. It's like these are some new people. How do we get new people? What's going on? So it's happening now. Imagine if we went full release, what's going to happen?
Free to play full release.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, well, that's their. If something changes, that'll be different. But as of right now, when they go full release, that's free to play. That's what their complete intentions. SMS's complete intentions are.
So I'm actually going to put this up on the stream because I do want to put some context, right? Because I feel like a lot of people that remember Paragon are remembering the more polished Paragon that we got at the end, right? They're remembering the Paragon that they loved, not necessarily the Paragon that we got on pre-released August 2016. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just putting some of the gameplay up on the screen here, just so people can grasp it in. And I want to say this might actually be on console. I'm not 100%, quite frankly. And I'll remove it here shortly.
Did you have a controller connected to your PC? Because this
isn't my gameplay. I have gameplay. I just didn't even look it up. I just went on YouTube, right? And they're playing on controller. Boy,
they're playing on controller, so I'm assuming that it would be on console.
But even let's talk about UI. That's not a pretty UI. That's extremely simplistic, right?
Yeah.
The map design, amazing. Even though textures don't necessarily look crazy, like those rocks aren't like, oh my god, bro, that rock looks rocky. Who the fuck says that, right? Who the fuck says that? Like nobody's gonna look at that shit and be like, yo, that's the rock I want in my game. Yeah. Adrian. But what I'm saying is I really do, because Paragon, right before it shut down, it was a totally different ballpark, right? Yeah. It was way more polished. It was very, very different. Oh, yeah. And I just feel like too many people compare what they remember and they don't think early access full release, right?
Right.
Like
and you only remember the good stuff.
And if we're considering the moves that Fault specifically is trying to make, they are trying to be on par, if not better in some areas, by the time full release gets here. That's why they're taking so much time doing little things. That's why they're trying to iron out the kinks as far as AI and such. And it really is one of those things that I just need people to just be a little bit more realistic. Paragon, before it closed, was not Paragon the day it got full release free to play. And just like Fault, the day it gets released free to play is not going to be Fault 2.5, 3 years after it's been free to play.
So Jeej says in the comments that we need to stop comparing Fault to Paragon because they're nowhere close to each other. I understand what you're trying to say, but I think it's great to compare. It's great to compare Fault to Paragon because that is what we are striving for, and then we want to surpass that. We want to get where Paragon was and have the community and the love the community had for it. Hence the reason why we're recreating a game that died, you know, and then we want to get past that. We want to be able to get to that point and then get even better. So the fact you are comparing those is fine. Like, and it's a third person mobile.
It's natural.
What else do you compare it to?
It's natural that it's going to be compared, but I just think whenever we're comparing, people just need to be a little bit more realistic as far as time frames, stages, and development, etc.
Right. If this was, give me a Activision. If Activision was trying to recreate Paragon with the Paragon assets, with Epic assets, then you know what? Maybe we could be like, hey, this is where Epic was at this point. This is where you guys should be at this point. Maybe even better, because who knows? I don't know size wise Activision compared to Epic. I don't know who has a bigger company, but either way. I'm just saying, I literally picked up a company that I thought.
No, you're good.
That's when that's a AAA company to AAA company. That's when you make that comparison. You're like, hey, this is something we could expect that. So lower the expectations for an indie dev company and see where we're at from there.
Here's the problem, though. You're trying to recreate people's memories of Paragon. You could recreate a 1-for-1 copy of Paragon. Epic could re-release Paragon, and it still wouldn't match up.
It won't please everybody.
Each individual's memory of their gameplay of Paragon. It is absolutely 100% impossible to recreate Paragon.
Nope, I agree.
Each and every person.
I
think for us, when we compare, we're comparing the development, we're comparing the what's going on, you know, in the background, what they're listening to the community with. I think what Cheech was saying, the comparison he's making is players are coming in here thinking this is Paragon. Paragon just came back to life, and they're jumping into the game and going, nah, it's not it.
Right, you
know what I mean? I'm like, you know what I mean? And I never saw it like that. And I tell players too, when we talk among friends and stuff, I go, don't expect Paragon. The only thing you're gonna expect from Paragon are the assets, the gameplay style, and that's it. You know what I mean? Nothing else. It's a third-person mobile, end of story. And to me, honestly, I think the difference that it's gonna make, there's two steps: full release, and how quick one of these companies will start creating their own characters and their own styles. You know what I mean? Those two things are gonna be a huge factor in the future for some of these companies.
Yeah, and I just wrote it in the chat too. Like somebody, Orithium in the chat is saying, it's weird the things that people notice. One thing that people need to think about: why would Strange Matters want to make Fault just like Paragon? If they did that, they wouldn't have their own game. They would have just literally be remaking Paragon. And my response is, for me, it's understandable that any company, and we've seen multiple games, not just MOBAs, use these assets. What is it? That beats per minute game where it was literally just like music and shooting and shit. Yeah.
I love that game.
So we've seen other games use these assets, right? And it's understandable because the assets are there. They're high quality. It saves time. It saves money. Nobody is faulting them for that. See what I did there? We really got to change that name. But the thing is,
I for that.
Yeah, I think it's also important to remember that these assets it just makes things easier. But these assets are not their end goal. I think that's something that many people forget. They don't want a map that looks like Monolith end goal, right? They don't want a lane that reminds you of Legacy end goal. They might try to keep some inspired stuff and etc. But let's say, hypothetically speaking,
get to that point and then strive past.
Correct. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, they release every single Paragon hero. What if they release another 25 heroes over the next few years after that? And then it gets to the point where, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember when's the last time I saw a Greystone in a match. Because you're going to start adding diversity. It's going to start getting his own identity. One of the biggest crutches, in my opinion, for Fault is the fact that they're tied to Paragon. Because if that history weren't there, I think this game would be succeeding much more. Without that previous expectation. If somebody just came in and treated it as a brand new MOBA and they have no idea about Paragon, I think people would view it differently. And I think until they get past that hurdle of, because when people come in currently, they're saying, is this Paragon? They need to get past that hurdle and get to the point where people don't even compare it to Paragon. They're saying, no, this is fault. This is nothing like Paragon. Map is different. Like, yeah, there might be a couple characters, but those characters are in almost every single game. You get me? So that shift in mentality and the stage, I think it's going to take a while, but that's what they got to do.
It is, but I don't know. Mangoose is gonna be the best one for to reply to this. And I'm not saying you would know either, Windu, but I just know he does the YouTube videos on it. With that, with the Paragon tie, you have the people. Oh, is this Paragon? Like people who haven't paying attention, people who didn't see Mangoose's videos that came out. Hey, all the para zombies. Windu's videos, all the para zombies. Other people's videos, all the para zombies. Right? People who didn't see all that stuff going on, they're like, oh my gosh, wait a minute, is this Paragon? And that brings them back, right? Are those people going to Ethereal and like, oh, is this Paragon? No, they're not. There's nothing there to tie it to them. So how is the reception? How is Ethereal growing at this point right now? And again, I'm not trying to shit on Ethereal because I do want them to grow. I really hope they do well. But I mean, like, how is that going in regards? Because we're getting at least the people to come in. Like, we have a player base already built that we're able to use in a sense. Ethereal is building from the ground up.
So I don't know why I can only think of a fishing reference because of fucking Mangoose now. but think of it this way, right? Now, like the Paragon audience is a pond that has fish in it. Like you could throw some bait in there. Yo, right. we know we're gonna get some fish out of this pond, but is that pond enough to feed your village? You get me? Are you going to have to go down to the river? Are you going to have to go to the open sea and fish at a bigger scale if you want to scale as well? Because that pond is going to be good for a couple hundred players, for example, right? Because you're not going to be able to catch every fish.
It's going to be enough for me to stock up for my family so I can travel to go and travel to another pond, traveling being marketing, so I can go find a better spot for me to move my family to.
But in your analogy, they need to leave that Paragon pond to go forward. Yeah, and that's the biggest struggle.
That's a really good analogy. That's the strive. Analogy.
That's the strive past. That's again, we're getting to Paragon and then we're gonna strive past. That strive past is going to be that going to the other pond and finding something else and growing and getting past it, right? But we have a pond that we know we can fish from right now. In a sense, like I said, going back to Ethereal, and I want Mangoose's input here too. Ethereal is fishing in a pond that they don't know if there's any fish in there. Mm-hmm. Like we're fishing in a pond. We know we have fish. I can feed my family, and I can go find somewhere else I need to go find where we can move to.
Yeah, but let me to continue on this analogy because I really like it. What if the bait that you're throwing isn't what's working for this pond? What if, like, you get me? Because you're not Paragon. You get me? Like, what if you realize the only bait you got isn't gonna fucking work here?
I'm an ethereal fish.
I'm an ethereal fish. I saw that too.
Shad.
Oh my god.
Fucking Shad.
But you get what I'm saying though? Like, what if the issue is, yes, there's a pond there and you'll be able to make it. But what if you don't got the right bait for that type of fish? You're literally going to be casting all day and barely getting any fish. Or the fish that do bite, let's say they got a chance to nibble, but they didn't actually get on the hook. They're like, fuck that shit. Go the fuck away. That's a plastic fucking worm. Went the fuck away. You get me?
Right.
So I think that is their biggest hurdle, and I'm not 100% sure how they can get past it without just ripping off that Band-Aid.
Yeah, let's keep with the fishing analogy here. With the
I support it.
With the pair zombies, with like Fault and all of them, they're using one kind of bait, which is the Paragon bait. That Paragon bait is catching them a lot of fish for now, but there's only so many fish that are going to bite on that Paragon bait.
Yep.
Whereas Ethereal is using a bait that catches fish from Smite, it catches fish from LOL, it catches fish that don't even know what a fucking MOBA is because it looks cool, and they're catching the Paragon fish. There's people that 100% loved Paragon, but they're more interested in Ethereal than these other games because there's just a bigger draw for that. So in the end, they have a chance to catch more fish than any of these other companies because they're using a more universal bait. But I also like what Bearded was saying with catch enough fish out of this Paragon pond, because you're going to catch more fish with that Paragon bait at first. But if you can catch enough of those fish, then you can move on to the ocean. So I really like Bearded's analogy there. But I'm also very upset that I had to call curtains on Phoenix Rising, because I thought that game was going to be absolutely amazing. And we kind of see what happens when you try and create a Paragon successor and don't use the assets, because people want to see their favorite heroes in the game, right?
Yep.
Like
but they want to see their favorite heroes the way they were, because everybody wanted to see, for example,
so
people wanted to see Countess, but she's not the same Countess. So you know,
and Twin Blast,
but at least they were able to get far enough to get like where they're at. Like Phoenix Rising didn't use any assets at all, and where they at now?
I think Phoenix Rising is probably one of the best examples that making a game from scratch, correct? That making a game from scratch is just way more difficult than it seems.
Oh, definitely.
And these assets really, really do help. Right? And, you know, just using any assets that aren't just like 100% unique as a stepping stone even, right? But
yeah, dude, I can't fucking stand when somebody from one of these companies that's making a Parazombie talks about how hard it is to use the asset. Yeah, it's hard. It's not easy, but it's a hell of a lot easier than creating a character from scratch and making every 3D animation and the models and all the abilities and balance and everything. It's a hell of a lot harder to do that than to just plug in the assets. And yeah, you got to do a lot with those assets, but they're already pre-made. So I think that's another reason that people have expected a bit more out of everybody. I'm not talking just Fault, out of everybody, than what we've gotten so far. I think Fault has actually delivered a lot more than everybody else, and they kind of came out of nowhere with it too. That's a different conversation.
You know what I think worries me?
Obstacle.
Oh, go ahead.
That conversation though.
No, I was saying the biggest obstacle I've noticed, and the easiest probably hero I can say has been targeted is Twin Blast. Just like Windu was saying, people come in thinking this is a Paragon remake. They jump on Twin Blast, they pop the alt, and no machine guns, no cannons.
What alt? There is no alt. Twin Blast doesn't have an alt.
No, but
it's
like
steroids, bro.
They come in,
Sure.
they come in. Oh shit! It's Twin Blast. I love it.
Let me know when they kick in.
Yeah, yeah. They press the alt button and no cannons and no machine guns. And I hear people going crazy sometimes on chats. I'm like, dude, you guys have to understand. It's not though. It's not. These guys are trying to steer away from it. Maybe, yeah, you're using the assets, but it's not Paragon. If you're coming in with that mindset, you're not going to play Kalari. You're not going to play all these other heroes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I'll be real with you. I was gonna say like one of the things that worries me the most, because I think more macro, right? Like I think more, where is this game gonna be in a year or two? You get me? And the potential of it and all. And in the whole realm of using the assets, how it's, you know, much easier than doing, you know, from scratch and all that. The example that I've always given people is just because you have the materials, that doesn't mean you get a house. Just because you built me a house does not make you an architect. Like it makes you a construction worker, and you could be a damn good construction worker. You could know what to do with those tools and shit. That doesn't mean you know how to design a house. And we've seen out of Fault that they can be great construction workers within that analogy, right? That they can put those assets to work. We've seen a little bit of, you know, hope for future things, like where the way they redesign some kits a little bit and such, and adding little things like the shrine. Like, you know, they're making effort, which I appreciate. But I'm I want to see more fault as the game progresses, which I know contradicts with, because a lot of people want to see more Paragon, and those are two different paths.
And going with that analogy, I like what SMS is doing and taking, we said before episodes in past, Mangu said it, that when SMS goes silent, usually something big happens, right? So, and I like the fact they're going silent, because they're going silent is because they're trying to build a strong foundation. You can't build a house on a weak foundation, right? You build that house on a weak foundation, it's going to crumble. We're going to have, it's literally going to be Paragon 2.0. Like, it's go, here you go. Hey, we're gone. When nothing's happening, we're not going to go any farther, so you have to build a strong foundation, get that strong foundation so you can be the construction workers and build that house that we can all live in.
And then the biggest thing that SMS does that I think compared to other companies, again, I haven't looked into it much, is they listen to their community. They have a really good, they do a really good job of listening to their community.
Shad, I want to know why you think Fault is a letdown. Your personal opinion, please.
Yeah, I literally just wrote it in chat for the whole. Like, if anybody in the chat feels that way, that Fault is a letdown, I want them to speak up, and give me details so we can talk about it, and it's understandable.
Let's hear it, Shad.
I'm like, I want to know. Like, please give me your input. I mean, I know my opinion isn't the correct opinion. I know my opinion is not the only opinion. So, like, I would love to hear everybody else's too.
I don't know, just using the Paragon assets, it's like Windu's sexuality. It goes both ways. Like, it can really gain you a fuck ton of people in the beginning, but in the long run, you're never going to be able to recreate those characters. So it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass. Just like Windu's sexuality.
I can't, bro.
Mango's sister,
I fucking can't with him, bro. Get me the fuck out.
Mango's sister all week, he goes, this week I'm gonna make fun of Cooch. Next week I'm gonna make fun of Windu.
You're next.
Yeah, you're fucking next, bro. You better not show up next week. That's all I'm saying.
He's not gonna be it. We're stunned at. I don't know.
I'm coming for sure next week. I'm curious to know what Mango's has to say.
Now, let me ask you guys.
Gonna be strong in time. I agree, Biff. I agree.
Let me ask you guys, because Marco brought up an interesting point in the chat. So we all know that in every MOBA ever, there's stronger heroes, there's weaker heroes, there's about heroes that kind of average out somewhere in between, right? And then when meta changes happen, sometimes that can spike, reworks happen, etc. MOBAs are never-ending adjustments. Mm-hmm. How do you guys feel about, like, for example, we were talking about this before we actually went live. Jungle Steel is borderline atrocious right now. So how do you guys feel about the fact that some characters just aren't that good? I don't mind it because it's normal. It's normal when if there might be one item that comes out that now puts Steel on top of the fucking game. You get me? That's fucking MOBAs. That's the life. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, I'm not going to say, and some people might be tied to specific heroes, and they're like, they might get bummed when they're like, yo, my Steel ain't what it used to be. He's shit, for example. That might be the way they think. And that might deter them, or they might skew the way that they think about the game. But I'll be real, I don't care if some heroes are worse, some heroes are better. That's just the nature of the jungle, Like, what do you guys think about that? Or do you guys think that they should try and balance all the heroes? Do you guys think that they should just YOLO, let some heroes be bad? That's how it is.
I mean, if you look at it overall, yeah, you're going to have some are good, some are bad. If you're looking at it lane-wise, I mean, do you guys agree that they're pretty well balanced? Like, if you look at it overall as a hero, yeah, Steel is going to be a crap jungle, like Twin Blast will be a crap jungle. You see what I'm saying? But are you talking about lane-wise, or are you talking about the entire roster itself?
Yeah. Are you asking for Steel to be able to play every role and be balanced enough to where he can play every role? Is that what you're asking? Because
I feel like that's what people want, because they want him to be a support. They want him to be able to solo. They want him to be able to jungle.
Then then take the roles out of the game. There's no point in having a role then.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, it's in that's the whole point of a MOBA is you have your 5 roles and you have characters that fit those roles. Maybe some of those characters can kind of blend into another role here or there, Sevarog being solo, Sevarog being a jungle. You can play both, but Sevarog support is not the best idea. You can do it, I guess, but that's on you for doing that. Sevarog ADC probably isn't the best thing for you to do when you're going against an actual ADC. That's an issue like that. Why would you want to balance it? Yep, doesn't matter. I got Sevarog ADC. I can still win no matter what. If everybody was completely balanced all the way across, it takes it away from the game, in my opinion.
See, for me, Marco actually said it is mentioning it too. For me, when I play these MOBAs, if Steel is a support, I want his ass to be a support. If he tries playing something else, he should get his ass kicked. That's how I see it. You know what I mean? Not whereas I have technically 4 mid laners, but these mid laners get to play carry, get to play solo, get to play that. You see what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this.
So that would be a scaling issue then.
Right. So Mangoose wanted to say something. So Mangoose, go ahead. Say what you wanted to say there.
I completely forget what I was going to say. So
all right,
go ahead.
Okay, so let me ask you this though. I don't play League of Legends. They have a huge player, a hero base or hero pool, right?
Roster.
Yes.
Roster. There you go. Are they able to cross-pollinate roles?
Some.
Okay then. So what is the problem with Fault doing? Is because it looks like our the ratio's off? I mean, we only have 21 characters compared to how many characters does League of Legends have?
Yeah, but at the same time, that's also a downfall. You're gonna notice more inconsistencies because there's so few characters.
That's my point, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, give us time. Like, let us be out for however long.
Next character win.
Out. Well, yeah, well, that too. Yes, I'm definitely not against that. But like, we need something to go. Like, give me 50 characters that we can pick from, and you're not going to notice the fact that these characters are being used on these different lanes as much. And maybe they will be at that time. It's like, hey, let's go back to what, 12? Build 12. Like, there was only 2 solo laners. We only had Quang and Greystone. And then they made some changes like, hey, these guys can also be solo laners. Like, they made it, it literally is shown in game now that these other characters can play in the solo lane because we don't have that much of a hero roster right now. Once that gets better, maybe Sevarog will no longer, or whoever else they added there will not be switched there. They'll put it back, and we'll
right. They need to bring back Fang Mao, bro.
Right. They need to bring that as well.
So I don't know, man. How do you guys feel if Strange Matters were to scale as a company? Because they've already been slowly scaling, right? Adding new people to the team. Like, usually we found out like 2-3 people at a time, I would love to see more out of those additions. Like, hey, show us something they've been working on,
Right.
Because they've added, since we started doing the partner panel videos, they've added what? 7 people? I think, including the UI guy and all that, like way back when. And we've seen some work be implemented. I don't know if some people just got hired to be like background shit, but I honestly feel like we should be showing just a little bit more, at least, as to, hey, this is the progress thanks to our new additions. Show them some love. They've been kicking ass behind the scenes and shit like that. I think a little staff appreciation wouldn't be bad either. TBH.
Yeah. I think you could do both. And what I mean by that, because I didn't say what I wanted at first, but show off things that have been working on, and also show off what the new people have been doing together. We have that map guy, right? The map guy's working with blanking on names right now. Our other map guy.
I'm horrible with names, but yeah, map people. They're there.
Mr. No Mercy is working with our other map guy. I can't remember his name. I feel so bad. He's gonna hate me for. He watches all of our shows. Anyways,
Hey.
So I feel bad. Anyways,
That's your friend.
show him off. Here you go.
Show off what they
here's
can
a
do.
picture. Yeah, make a tweet. Here's what Mr. No Mercy and X has been working on. He's the guy that's taking the freaking stuff out of the all the bad spots in the map. He's smoothing out the map. What's his name? Help me out, guys.
Espada?
Espada, thank you. Oh my gosh, I cannot think of his name. Holy shit, I'm sorry, Espada, but I literally wasn't gonna give up until I figured it out. Yeah, but Espada, no Mr. Mercy. Here we go. This is what they've been working on. Give them a shout out on Twitter or something.
Which they did shout out Espada in one of their weekly blogs when they showed it's like, hey, little map collisions where you used to be able to jump up on here. Now
Right.
you're not able to, etc.
Yeah.
So that was nice. I
Right.
would like to see that a little bit more. Yeah.
We're no longer doing these blogs anymore. So but they said they're going to do more social posts. So that would be something that I think they could do. Like, here you go. And that doesn't have to be maybe a sound guy. Post a tweet with the sound, with some new sounds coming out or something. Give us just something. Hell, tease us the new hero. Give us a political sound clip of the new hero. Like, oh, then we're all be going back and watching Paragon. Oh, what sound was that? Or what could that be? Like something that would be cool.
How do you guys feel? Like, I just read in the chat, Vault should shut down their servers till it comes out full release.
Wrong.
I
think they'll shoot themselves in the foot.
I understand it, but I don't think that would be a good idea, quite frankly.
I mean, I get what the person's trying to say, but I don't think people literally paid to be able to play this, And then could you imagine how Mangoose felt when they all that whole monetary situation? Now also they take the game away. Like Mangoose would just explode with the whole issues with his monetary situation they have with it. So monetization. So that you can't do that. There's and right now, SMS is getting so much data by having, even if we go with the numbers that we had earlier, what we said, 117 people, 117 paid testers right now, plus the testers they already have playing. You're getting so much data points just by people playing the game. You shutting that down. Now all of a sudden, what do they have? 20 testers, or how? Maybe they have 50 testers. That's numbers still cut in half, more than half, only getting data points whenever they're able to play.
I think that's an interesting point of view that people need to be mindful of. The fact that regardless how many people are there playing daily, whether it be 10, whether it be 300, 1,000, everybody right now is a paid tester. Because we are in a technically... would it be considered an open early access because you can pay to join? Because it's not closed, right? Or would it be considered a closed early access that you have to pay to join?
The door is unlocked, but the door is closed. You can open the door if you want to, but it's
That's good.
But it's hidden in the cave where
He said the doors in the cave, bro.
we got to scroll up here because I asked Shad a question and Shad answered. So before we go too far here, we asked Shad why he thinks Fault is a letdown, right? He said characters aren't fresh, polish isn't there, item system confusing as fuck, and boring gameplay. Those are all opinions, and that's fine.
Okay.
The characters aren't fresh. But we know that we're coming into this with epic assets. That's my argument against that.
Well, no, let's dissect that a little bit. Characters aren't fresh. I would take that more as, I'll be real with you, we haven't got a new character in 10 months. There are no fresh characters. You get me? That's the way that I would see it. So that is, in my eyes, that's valid feedback.
No, and that's I can't. I get that. I 100% get that. All right, but so if we're basing this off of the pair of zombies, there's no fresh characters on any of them. So that's like I said. That's my we can't. We're still doing better than the other ones, right? What was the other one? Polish isn't there. Or if we go from that first when Fault first came out, early access, and you pay to play. There, you're right. The polish isn't there, but now you look at what we've done since 13. When 13 first dropped, this game has improved. Hell, we got Mangoose to play again.
I was going to say they've polished quite a bit. I think a huge thing for me was when they fixed the input prediction to where you could queue up one ability after another. Because that was
that was 13, right?
Missing from Fault.
Yeah, that was 13 drop.
Big thing that differentiated it from Paragon is it's especially noticeable with like Chimera. Like in Paragon, you could ambush somebody and immediately start hacking, slashing them. And you couldn't do that in Fault for a while. Now you can. Like after patch 13, Fault improved tremendously. And hopefully they improve tremendously after 14 as well.
Right. Nope, I agree. Item system keeps confusing as fuck. I don't know. If I'm comparing this to the Pair of Zombies, I feel like I'm out of the two that I played. Fault's actually the easiest one to understand. There is a bunch in Predecessor, but I also don't understand how I'm building. What are we watching? That threw me.
Oh no, I'm just showing. I'm just showing them the comparison video. Like year, like on.
I know what it is now.
The first time they came out versus a year after. This is just showing a year worth of polish, and we're about to enter year 2.
Right.
This is just showing between the first year as we're talking on the subject polish wise.
And then he says, or Shad says, I don't know, he or she, sorry, or they, them, whatever. Boring gameplay. Boring gameplay. Like I think out of all of them so far, this is just only me combating opinion versus opinion. I think out of all of them, I prefer the Fault gameplay because to me it plays more. It styles more of the MOBA feel. Predecessor felt more like that TDM, with that TTK that they had very low TTK, and it was just like literally everybody group up and just push. So that's kind of what it felt like to me. And I know they're working on that. Predecessor is, so that's great because I want both of these games to be more of a mobile feel. So,
be real, I'd want to just a little bit more elaboration on what do you mean by boring gameplay? Because I'll be real with you, we could play fucking tic-tac-toe, and that shit might be exciting between us. You feel me?
Right.
But if I queue in default and I'm in solo lane and all I do is last hit and I'm not there for the team fights, I'm gonna be like, you know what, this is kind of underwhelming. You know what I mean? Like if I'm playing Farming Simulator by myself. So I understand that it's like boring gameplay is based off of experience, but over the matches that I've had, I wouldn't say that the gameplay is boring. I would definitely say it's not easy to enjoy the gameplay because of the people that you're going up against sometimes. Because I'll be real with you, somebody might go into the game, get shit on, and they'll be like, nah, this is boring. I'm not having fun, like we were having the conversation earlier.
Right.
So it really is one of those things like, what is boring to that individual or to people from the community?
Yes, please, Shad, clarify some more. And yeah, we know it's all opinions, and that's fine. That's all we're doing here is all opinions. It's great that we have everybody here talking about it. Mega Nanoman says the new patch title screens coming in 14 look nice in his opinion, and getting cleaner. Yes, they are definitely.
It's nice to see strides.
That's potentially.
Yeah, I mean, so new heroes, new map, like that. Yeah, that does bring like a level of excitement, right? But that, like, at the end of the day, stale gameplay is not necessarily the same as boring, even though those are borderline very, very close to each other. You get what I'm saying? Like, just because you're used to seeing the same characters and because there's no new characters out there or whatever, it doesn't necessarily mean that the game is boring. You get me?
No, I do know. I do get you, but I guess maybe because like you said, it's very borderline because I can see the diversity of counter picking. Can make it so it's not boring. Because what is boring? Mirror matches. Mirror matches are boring. That can get pretty bad there. But it is what it is. I can see that being the stale side of it though as well.
You've been playing Fault for a while, right?
No, I just started last week.
No, I meant I meant did you play the jungle that was before this map? I've seen it in some of Windu's videos.
As soon as it came out in June 17th, or is that July 17th? June 17th, I think when it came out. So I've been playing since then. So yeah.
Looking at some of Windu's videos, that jungle in that older map, for some reason was intriguing to me. I liked it better.
So the reason, and that's because when they first came out, there was a lot of optimization issues. So that's why what you see now, the map you see now, is actually better for optimization. So people aren't hitting huge lag spikes and stuff like that, or their FPS is just dropped really low. So yes, it was a beautiful map if you had the right computer to play on, or if you like Windu, you had a dual PC system where you can run just that on there and also stream. You can have both. But for people who didn't have a dual PC setup, or maybe they have the lower end of the PC, you're really feeling that effect. Fresh characters to me is original characters, but that's fresh character to me is original characters, but that's my personal taste. Oh, okay. So yeah, he's talking about he wants literally original. And then that's to come.
So he's just tired of Paragon characters,
right? And that's
which I'm with him.
Definitely. I mean, I am, and I'm not. I'm into it. I came into this knowing that we were getting Paragon characters. I'm okay with that because that's really what I wanted. I played Paragon, fell in love with it, it got taken away from me. And then I found out about Phoenix Rising, and I'm like, oh my gosh. I showed my brother, who was an anti-Paragon guy because he's just not a MOBA person. I showed it to him. I'm like, dude, look, it's coming back. He's like, I don't think it's coming back. Literally, the game died. Who's gonna try to revive that game? And then here we are, a few years later, and holy shit, games are coming back.
Enjoying a game, yeah,
right. And I'm getting to play the characters that I enjoyed playing in Paragon. And I'm not the person that's like, man, this isn't the same Murdock. Would I? Okay, yes, I would 100% rather have Murdock's buckshot also be his pushback, just like it was in Paragon. But it's not enough for me to I'm not playing Faults ever again. I can't stand it. His buckshot.
You know how many people are like that?
I get it. That's on them. If you want to be that way, be that way.
Like I said, the Twin Blast thing is it's the biggest I've come across. Murdock and all these other guys, I haven't, but Twin Blast has been the biggest I've came across, where his alt is not a cannon or a machine gun, and I don't want to play it.
So, but I mean, it's going to happen. Once we do know that we're going to get 100% Paragon heroes, right? We're going to get all the heroes that Paragon had. Okay. But after that, guess what's going to happen? Shad, you're going to get what you want. You're going to get an OG hero.
Yeah.
All right. Now, maybe you have to wait longer, and maybe by that time Ethereal will be out, and then you'll be playing Ethereal instead, and you don't care. But if it's not, you have the ability to hit an OG hero. You can play.
I'll be real with you,
or girl, or they, or them.
I fear that it's going to be the latter. I feel like it's going to take so long to get an original character because they're afraid of the backlash. How dare they? How dare they make their own hero instead of putting in Shimby, or instead of putting in Faye, or Terra? I saw somebody ask for Terra. I was like, get the fuck out of here, bro. What? Nobody liked Terra. Holy shit.
Hey, how do you get him? Get him off of the screen. Get him off of here.
Yikes.
Get him out of here. I like Terra. Get the fuck out of here.
So that's where I heard it. Yikes. Anyway. But yeah, I honestly think.
Thank you, Jeej.
I honestly think that they will. I think they have the capability
right now.
Bring in Wukong. That's what I want.
Get me the fuck out, bro.
Get him out of here.
Right. I feel like they have the capability to make their own hero by now because they got a guy that does the character models, animations, etc. Right. But I think they're not going to because of the potential backlash. I think they might not be able to get to that point until they finish all the Paragon heroes, because at that point, then people are expecting new ones, right? How do you justify we made our own character and we didn't add Feng Mao, and Feng Mao was easier to add? How do you justify that?
I think a smart thing to do would be to sit back and watch Overprime, how people react to that. Because Overprime has a new hero of their own that they're going to be adding in. I mean, it's still not on fucking Steam, so we have no idea. But once it does hit Steam, I think that they're making
strides
to gauge the reaction. Because I'm with you. Like, it's a huge risk to add your own IP into a game that's a Paragon successor, because people are going to be pissed that their hero isn't in yet, but now you've got this brand new hero. Like, why did you do that? So, but they might not be pissed. They might be super excited to play a brand new hero in a third person MOBA.
Right.
So you never really know. Like I
said, like they got to rip the Band-Aid. Anything that goes as far as creating Fault IP and veering away from Paragon, they're gonna have to rip that shit off. They're literally just gonna be like, all right, here you go.
I'm sorry, can you tell me what Fault IP is? Because I'm thinking like IP address, and I know that's not what you're meaning.
Intellectual property.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Intellectual property.
I know it's not about IP address.
Just like content that belongs to them, character models that they created and own, etc.
The words put together, actual words, I knew what you meant. I just didn't know what IP in that term meant. Too many acronyms, all right? I was in the Navy. All these things just melt together. I see your point. I get what you're saying, and I could definitely see. I would be the person that doesn't care, right? If you come out with your own OG character and I'm able to play him, great. If you come out with only Paragon characters first and then your OG character, great. I don't care either way. I'm at the point to where I'm like, wouldn't it just be easier to already use the assets that are already available and just capitalize from there? Like, let's just get all these ones out. We already know these characters are already pretty much pre-built. We just got to code them and get them in the game. And then bam. And then now we can start focusing on our character, our OG character.
You know what's weird? Am I the only one that thinks that non-MOBA games are also very greatly affecting Fault? Dude, trust me, you don't want to know what they're laughing at. Like, I already replied in the chat. We're not going to talk about it on the video. Trust me, we're gonna slide right on by. Mangoose's mind shall not be explored, bro. Okay.
Oh. All right. So Gooseback's my cousin in real life. We're talking about the Tara Reid thing. Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. I can't with y'all, bro. We're not talking about that on the video.
Let's get good.
But no, like, you know what's weird? And like, I was kind of shocked that the Fault player base was affected so much by New World, actually. And that's also a big reminder that the average person that might play a MOBA, they probably play other games. You got Battlefield around the corner, you know, the Call of Duties come out and etc. They're not only competing with other MOBAs. They're competing for an individual's sole attention. And it's a rough market out there, bruh. Like, Fault took a hit in player base. Like, constant players that were on Fault every single day have been fucking selling their souls to New World for a good week and a half, 2 weeks. You feel me? Like that shit's borderline concerning, but it happened.
I can't laugh because part of that comes from what Shad was saying too, that maybe in their opinion, some of these guys that are running to New World are getting bored. They want a new hero. They want a new map. I think they
just want something new.
They just want something new. If they get it, I think they'll come back. I mean,
maybe new is nice, bro. There's a reason why there's a lot of people out there that legit upgrade their car every couple of years. It's like, oh, I got to do an oil change. Fuck that. I'm getting a new car.
Yeah, but that could be the same thing as, I mean, you knew it was nice. That could be the same thing as a skin. You know, that's something new. You know, like it doesn't have to be a new hero. Now, again, I want a new hero. I'm not trying to be on that side of the fence, but just playing devil's advocate here, you could do all of this and not have to go to that extreme in a sense.
I will say right now with absolute certainty that Fault, no matter what they're doing right now, no matter what improvements they're making for patch 14, they have gone far too long without adding another hero, even up.
100%. 100%. That's what now I can be on that side of the fence here. I 100% agree with you.
I wonder if they're going to go a year. I hope not. If they make it to the new year, that's a whole year without adding a hero, bro.
Well, we brought it up. Let's go. Hold up.
Remember?
What's going on? Go ahead, say.
Oh yeah, no. Remember, I was telling you why 14? That question that was coming up, and then Windu mentioned saying it's a good question. Like when we kept talking about 14,
But
right?
they're relying so much on it.
Yeah, they have something up their sleeve. I understand, and this is why I brought that question up. Why 14? This is extending longer than it is. Their fault is looking at it. Maybe player base wise, maybe they have something up their sleeve to bring in players. You see what I'm saying? That's why I was always curious to me, why 14? Because they're putting all their eggs in one basket when it comes to 14. That's what I think. That's what the patch notes really make it sound like. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mangoose.
No, I'm not correcting you. I think you're right.
Yeah, no, I think you're right too. I mean, like everything's kind of pointing towards that. And then adding on to that, Biff says if 14 has new champs, I would be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised that they've already been teasing new champs. Like that was like kind of like they talking about the new AI mode and new champs possibly. Like it's already been teased. So why is that? I don't know. I don't see that being. I would be surprised if 14 doesn't bring new champs, right? I'm not saying 14. If we're talking about like literally when we get 0.14.0 no new champs, if that's what you're talking about, you'd be surprised for that one, then fine. But I'm saying like 14. Well, no, every big patch is a new hero. So yeah, I would say I'm agree with new heroes. I would be surprised not to have new heroes in 14.
I don't know, bro. Like my only counter argument to that one would be we got teased about new jungle items September 2020, and we finally got them May 2021, I think it was. You feel me?
Right.
Like
we got teased these heroes like what 13.5, and we're already on 13.14. So like again, we're still on track to get the new heroes in 14.
I really think
by your logic,
heroes in 14.
You think so? You think they're going to come out and shock people?
Yeah, I believe
really
it.
think they will.
That'd be big.
I think it'll be right.
That would be a good way to start generating some organic marketing while they start ramping up their paid marketing.
But yeah, back what you were saying, Stud, though, the 14 is the one. Like 14 is going to be. They're going to come out. This is my opinion. Literally speculating this whole thing. I know nothing. I'm not a tester. I'm just a small partner. And so my wife said that too. Anyways,
Yes.
so I literally think that 14 is going to be, so whatever the numbers that come after 14, those are all just tests and getting prepped. I think 15 is full release, but then it wouldn't be 15. It would be 1.0. That's what I think. That's unless something,
interesting.
But I say that if all those small tests go as planned. If something happens with those small tests, then we get a 15 because we now have to revert, reconfigure, do things. It's beta. We don't know what's going on.
Well, somebody just said in the chat, Fault's making improvements, like they admit it, but they're just peeking through the closet and waiting. And I feel like that's the majority of people that have either tried Fault, looked 100%. Into Fault. They're literally just like, I just don't want to get my hopes up like Paragon yet. Or maybe they went in and they're like, it's not ready for me yet. I might come back in a year or two. And it is, but do we think that the AI, because let's address the things that we know what's coming, right? We know AI is coming, confirmed.
Yep.
Right? Yep. Holy shit, my mind just drove back. Thank you. Mastery system, which includes mastery skin, progression system, and whatnot. What else is confirmed? We know talks of new map is coming. Adjusted map, new map, per se, somewhere along those lines. We know that's coming.
The draft lobby and the new overhaul of the
UI overhaul for the menu and draft lobby and everything. Yep. Which that's very big visually in its own. Like some people might think that it might not be too big, but it's massive. and I see Mangoose gifted 5 subs. Oh, guess we're gonna watch Bearded. You know what? Do me a favor, Bearded. Go ahead and go through those beans while we chat here, because last time watching you go through 20 in a row, holy shit.
All right, so real quick, just so everybody knows what I'm doing, and I was like, "Well, dude, I just eating beans."
Yeah, go ahead, explain it.
For every sub I get, I always do a Bean Boozle challenge. It doesn't matter if it's gifted or out of pocket, or even Prime Gaming. So because Mangoose here hit us with 5, that's gonna. Oh, and every goal I hit, we do an extra one. And if we hit we hit a big goal. The community put a big goal. If we hit that goal, we're gonna wear a taco suit for the Thursday stream before Halloween. So, and that's 125 subs. We're sitting at 54 right now. Well, plus those 5, so we're at 59. So, if we hit that, we're going there.
Very important to point out in the chat real quick. Somebody was asking if Wraith is the next confirmed hero. There is no confirmation on which hero will be next. That's just speculation. Yeah. We've heard it from a lot of people, actually. I wonder, was it because like the robot that was being worked on or whatever in that space picture?
Why
people went straight to Wraith like crazy, bro?
Yeah. Well, you even see Wraith in the first picture with Decker, and you saw the little computer screen. People were looking at Wraith, and like nothing about that little AI picture makes me think
T-pose.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, unless he's wearing, he's going to be a linebacker, start wearing shoulder pads or something. Like, I don't understand. It didn't look like Wraith to me, but that's just me, because he looked almost take Twin Blast's Spec Ops like character and how smooth and slender he is, like,
and then give him actual steroids. That's what we had in the picture.
I literally dissected that entire picture. I didn't see FaZe's backpack, but some people are saying they see FaZe's backpack.
It's not a backpack. It's the thing that's in her backpack.
There's a sticky note with her, with a little drawing that is like a shout out to FaZe, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's what it was. If I'm not mistaken, there was no backpack there. So, I mean,
no backpack.
Can we talk about the fact that that's actually cool, but I don't think it's been implemented properly? And we've talked about this a little bit in the past as well, like the fact that they're hinting at new heroes and stuff. But I think there's a very big difference between them throwing a hint and them just expecting the community to understand the hint. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'd be like, we did enough. And be like, well, I'll be real with you. 99% of people didn't even have an idea that there's a fucking little ass sticky note that you gotta zoom into and shit. So, how do you guys suggest that they should tease new heroes? I want to hear from the chat and from you guys, like ideas for Street Banners.
I like how they're doing it now. It leaves it very ambiguous.
Okay.
It needs to be a tease, not just a full fucking reveal. Mm-hmm. I like how they're doing it now. I like it.
So you're okay with the way it is right now? Just
I am okay.
Release a picture.
I want a combination of both. What they did with Decker and Grimm, those little small quick videos. You have no clue what it is. Very zoomed in, but video.
That was cool.
Thing.
Yeah,
I thought that. But then but the picture, that you got, like, hey, try to find out something, like this. And then you also had like the one I didn't like was the gadget tease. It literally was just her arm upside down.
No, bro.
That was like, I'm like, that was no fun.
I'll do you one better. And I don't know if Goose was around for this one, but they had the one that they teased, we don't even know what they teased, whether it was a character, a skin, whatever the hell. But for like 4 weeks in a row, they released like a piece of a body somewhere. And we had no idea what it was. We were speculating for like 4 weeks in a row, right? And then out of nowhere, for the next like 8 months, nothing. Nothing. Like till this day.
We still know nothing about it.
Yeah, till this day. What the fuck is it? Is it a skin? Is it a character?
When I first saw it, I thought it was Feng Mao, and we still don't have Feng Mao, so
we thought it was.
We don't have whatever this was teased. It doesn't matter what it is. We don't have it.
I remember seeing a tease that I 100% thought was Feng Miao's fucking gatekeeper skin, and like nothing was ever.
Go ahead. My bad.
I was kind of done.
I
Hey,
But and
Go grab another drink. I'll be right back.
quick thing.
what's up, son?
Talk amongst yourselves.
To everybody in the chat, you guys want Bearded to wear a Wolverine mask for the rest of the show?
What are you about to redeem that shit?
Yeah.
Make him do it, homie. You totally should. You totally should.
Wait till he comes back.
That all three of these guys play Paragon. Everybody in this little quad grid right here played Paragon. Yes.
Yes. From the very beginning.
A lot of variety. But for example, I know for a fact that Bearded played more Monolith Paragon post V42.
Only Monolith. Well, no, not post V42. I was just before version 42, but it was only Monolith.
Okay.
So whatever the
so
version
like V41,
right?
When they still had the old card system, but it was Monolith. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. When there was the actual system, that system you showed in that video, it still had that system, and I was confused what I was doing because I had no clue I was playing a MOBA. I played that, and then they came with the card system, and somebody who doesn't play a MOBA, that was so much easier for me to understand. I'm like, I like this, and it made the game better for me, and I really fell in love with it. So,
bro, I still remember back in the OG days, characters being added, being incredibly broken, which happens in every fucking MOBA, which kind of, mind boggles me. Like, why people make such a big deal about it in Fault. Because League of Legends releases unbalanced heroes all the time. Paragon did that shit. Do we even, and you freaking Mangoose can tell you probably what a menace Narbash was the moment he got released. Narbash owned the lane.
Yeah.
Like nobody was ready or even knew how to properly counter all that, like healing and regen and winning all that early lane. Fucking Chimera, Quang, when Quang got released and shit. Like, I wonder why people make such a big deal about Fault releasing a not properly balanced hero.
Oh,
whenever it's
always going to make a deal about that. People are always going to make a deal about it because it's a real issue with MOBAs that they release overpowered heroes to get people to pay for the game or pay for those heroes.
To incentivize them to actually get that hero earlier.
Yeah, I mean, just because it's the status quo doesn't mean we can't bitch about it. And I think we should bitch about it because they should be balanced when they're released. Not
or as balanced as possible.
Extremely fucking overpowered or extremely underpowered like Zinx was, even though when Zinx was released, I won like every fucking game I played with her, but her
nobody could kill her.
Was low as shit when she was first released.
I don't know, bro. Like, I'll be real with you. It's kind of weird just being on this side of everything. You look great, Bearded. Like,
what the fuck?
You just realized he was wearing? Yeah. You can thank Stunt here for that. But no, bro, like, it's kind of weird being on this side. And I'd like to hear from y'all, just like content creators, partners, past partners, etc.
With that comment, we need to get.
Let's go back to new hero every 3 weeks. Yeah, I don't think so. Let's not. Quite frankly, let's not.
I think we need a new hero. Not that often.
Yeah, no, not at all. But how do you guys feel as content creators about the progression that Fall has made in the future? And I'll let y'all sit for a sec.
I think they've made quite a bit of progress. Like you posted that video of like what it looked like at first and what it looks like now. They've done quite a bit. And even more so, they've gained a lot of money, which is going to allow them to progress forward. Yes. I've not always been a fan of their monetization options. I hate that they did a battle pass so early on. However, in order to progress the game, they need to make money. Paragon wasn't always free. You had to pay for that shit at first, unless you got lucky like me and got a key. I got a free key for Paragon, but I ended up buying the Founders Pack just because I love the game that much. But like, Paragon wasn't free at first either. Fault doesn't need to be free at first. They do need to be able to make money. Right. I still don't think they should have had a Founders Pack, but completely lost my train of thought. What the fuck were we talking about?
Founders Pack, or Founders Pack is fine. I think it's the Battle Pass or the Season Pass that you have the issue with.
Yeah, the Battle Pass. I fucking hated the Battle Pass. I thought that was like a weird money grab. I know that they were talking about like they were just kind of testing the monetization systems. I felt it was just a straight up greedy money grab that they were leveraging because they were the first Paragon successor to come out. I still to this day hate that they released the battle pass system before the game was fully released. I think the battle pass system should be a way to monetize the game after they go free to play, not before they go free to play. I don't know how I
was about to say, when I left, I was like, how do y'all feel as content creators? I come back, monetize. I mean, we could talk about this. Like, here's my thing.
Hold on. Liver and onions or cappuccino? Cheers.
Oh, man, I hope it's cappuccino
last
for you,
one.
brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, compared to the last video, yeah, I hope it's cappuccino.
Yeah.
It's in my nose and I can't breathe on it. Oh.
It's not cappuccino.
Oh.
With them, bro.
Yeah, a code, geez, yeah.
But you know what? Since we're on the subject, let's talk about it. Monetization. Free to play comes out. Do you guys think Fault has enough in-game content right now to support monetization?
Yes.
Think so? I mean,
I saw Stone shaking his head no.
What was the question?
Don't think so.
And I'd love to see in chat what people think too. Do you guys think if Fault went free to play, do you think it has enough in-game content to support monetization?
So right now, like we go free to play right now. Like we get off this stream, free to play.
No, like let's say 14 comes out, we have the AI mastery system and etc.
So then yes,
Yeah.
with the mastery system, yes, but right now, no.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a different
but hold on,
question.
because
14,
the
I would
mastery
agree.
system has nothing to do with monetization though. So why does that matter?
But it does
because in
because
14,
you don't have every
know.
hero when you come in. Now you come in and you see that Murdock mastery and you want that. You're gonna buy enough to be able to purchase Murdock. You want the Narbash one, you're gonna buy enough to get Narbash. It's gonna give you incentive to want to play that hero. So play the hero, you have to purchase that hero.
I could see that.
I mean,
Right.
the way you monetize is cosmetics, and I think they have plenty of cosmetics in the game that would entice people to buy them.
How about you, Stunt? Because you were shaking your head no.
No, I was shaking my head because of the current situation we're in Fault now. 14 might be different. We don't know what 14 brings. Like I said, we might have a lot more surprises. As of right now, if you paid the full price and got all the heroes, you got all the heroes. If you have rotating heroes, you can monetize that, I'm guessing. I mean, to unlock a hero a lot quicker. It doesn't necessarily mean they're stronger. You know what I mean? Not just cosmetics, but I don't think we have enough as of right now to be able to do that.
I see a couple people in the chat are literally saying just no, like not enough content. Because here's my thing, and I know Mangoose was very critical about this too. Monetize, like you can earn all the previous Paragon skins for free in Fall, right? Mm-hmm. You can choose the monetary option if you wish. You get me? But I honestly don't think that with the skins that they have right now in game, I really don't think it's enough at all. I think really? They need. Okay. Well, because if you told me that the Twin Blast Summer Fun skin came with the squirt gun animations, I would pay for that. I would pay premium dollar for that or grind for that. You get me?
So spurned by him not having the he references that skin so often.
Hey man, I'm just saying, like you get me? I think if the animations, the visuals were up like at the next level that they're trying to get to, along with all those skins, and yeah, maybe I'd understand your point. But right now, considering every single skin is a reskin, essentially, I don't see people shelling out money just because they want to get that new skin, when quite frankly they can sit here and be like, well, nothing changes except the way that my character just base looks, right? Most of them are recolors half the time. So why, like, me as somebody that literally like skins win games sort of mentality, like I buy a game and I already have a brand new skin that I go into and shit. I don't think they have enough. I think that the quality of their current skins and animations and shit needs to either go up, or they need to come out with even more unique skins like that Vacation Sebrog that we've referenced in the past. Something a little bit more unique that we've never seen before and stuff, like something with more style to be able to sustain that sort of model. Ay. Mike says in the chat, I'd say I have that feeling with the mastery skins we have seen. They are copy paste. I'd like different styles of skins. That's a good point too. Like, yeah. I'll be real with you. The mastery skins look dope, but it's not like the character is changing. It's literally just color and tribal tattoos thrown everywhere depending on the skin. You feel me?
And those perfectly executed mustache curls.
But that fourth one, I mean, the stage 4, it's literally going to be in motion. Like, it's going to be, things are going to be moving on the skin.
I mean, things are moving on the Richter Aphrodite. I have no idea what the fuck the Richter skin is. The rock one, the blue one. How do you say that, guys? Do we know?
You say Frozone. That's what you say.
Frozone.
You say the Richter Frozone skin. That's all you gotta say.
That one has animations. That one has animations in it, and it's all breathing and moving in the skin and shit. How well is that received? You think that's because it moves? It's enough to get people.
Frozone. No wonder it's not well received.
I mean, some of them I wouldn't want to move. Imagine Morgesh Master Skin, that red animation. You constantly see it against you.
You just don't like the Morgesh skin.
I don't.
So you're not going to want to see it anyway.
Imagine that animation of that lava face, that red like.
I think it's
stain on her face.
No, I'll be real, and I've talked about this in the past a little bit, just mainly on my rants, right? But I think if they really, really want to monetize, like, they need to throw in chromas. And by chromas, if you don't know what I'm talking about, for anybody out there, like even a basic skin, but you pay for the option that you can choose the color you want. So I can be a basic skin Murdock, but purple on the lane. There's MOBAs out there that have that. I don't know how hard it would be to implement. I don't know if that's something that they're even considering. But I think League of Legends.
I'm just out of place. I don't know.
League of Legends has, specific skins, multiple skins per character. But then, like 1 to 3 of each character's skins might have a chroma variant, to where that one skin you can get in multiple colors. And we've seen this in the past. Paragon kind of did it, but they just had individual skins. Like, for example, the Lizard Murdock, that he had green skin, and then Lizard Murdock where he had red skin. You get me? That was their version of chromas. They just showed it as independent skins. But I think that going down that route and giving people the opportunity to be like, hey, I want that skin in this color. How many people would pay for that shit?
A lot.
I mean, two episodes ago, you guys were talking about, remember, having to choose what kind of a weapon Grux carries, for example. If you monetize something like that, where people can flex, buy a weapon, you will have people spending money left and right.
Something you guys might not know, correct. Some of you guys might not know. I like the colors maize and blue. So if I could take 2 colors, if I could make Murdock be a maize and blue Murdock, like that would be dope as hell.
Like imagine you paid for the option and now you got a blue and yellow Murdock running around.
And it's your creation. It's your style.
Is that worth the $5 on the base skin, but it's blue and yellow everywhere?
Shit, I'd give $50 just be able to do it.
Damn, bro, you're a fucking
Get
baller.
it.
Holy
No,
shit.
I mean,
This man said 50
package.
bucks. Ah!
Pay for a package where you can do it to any character you want, not just one.
Oh, you mean like something
have-
exclusive or okay.
Or
I mean, I think
or have Severog run around with a baseball bat because you bought that, like you bought it. Now you're trying to flex it. Like
I
Like, I
really
think
don't know
it's
why there
cool,
isn't a
like-
baseball bat, but go ahead.
like what Wolverine is saying, where he wants to make a WVU Mountaineers character. That's cool.
Get the fuck out.
But I think weapon skins would be an even bigger draw.
Oh my god. Wolverine
It's
Lego.
not saying the bearded West Virginia, okay? It says the bearded Wolverine. It's different.
The bearded mountaineer.
Oh my god. Oh, Otto brought up a great point in the chat. What about boosters? That's literally an option in probably almost every game out there. You can earn matter at a faster rate, yeah.
Yep.
XP at a faster rate.
Yeah, we brought that up,
you can
a few
earn your
episodes ago,
skin
too.
marks. You get me?
Can we earn some fucking skin marks, please?
Skin or skid?
Skin marks. What did you
No,
say?
he said skin or skid. What the hell?
Skid marks. You just don't want to earn
Jesus.
your skid marks?
Anyway.
See, I'm not the only one. Even Chat said it. Skid marks? What?
No, but let me ask you.
Jono.
So, right within the realm, do you guys think that these are even options that Strange Matter is going to consider? Or do you guys think that's things that they're planning on implementing? Because we can theory craft here all day, right? But what have we seen from Strange Matter as a company as far as innovation, changing things? Like from what I've seen is they adapt very well from what other MOBAs have done successfully, and then they put their own twist into it.
I think they are.
With that in mind, I don't think the whole buying weapons and having people swap their weapons out and stuff, I don't think that's a horrible idea. I think that's a great idea. But I don't think that Strange Matters is going to do that at all. Like at all.
But I think SMS is the type that thinks out of the box. I think they
Okay.
are the type that would surprise you with something like that. You know what I mean? I do see it with SMS. I do see it with Fault, where they come in and all of a sudden, with one patch or with one update, and these guys are on a completely new level. You know what I mean? Compared to other ones, I do see it. The shrines were one of them. Instead of a river buff, everybody did a river buff. They brought into you the shrines. That's thinking out of the box. I think they're capable of doing it.
I think their passives is another example of thinking out of the box. Like they've brought some really good passives. They've also brought some really good changes to some of the kits to make them more interesting. Like Greystone is the most bland motherfucker ever, but giving him a disarm,
It's big.
that helps a lot. That helps a lot.
Very big.
Kwong being able to like shoot lightning.
That Kamehameha? Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. Like they've done some cool shit to the pre-established kits that I think really highlights their creativity and how they can move forward.
What I like with them, with SMS, is they take stuff like this, like our episodes, our partner panel. They see what's being said within the comments, within the actual video itself, and they work with it. If it's something that they see it fits in their plan, they'll use it. If it's something they don't think that it's going to work in the plan, then it doesn't work in their plan, and you hear nothing of it again or whatever. But it is what it is. The fact that they still go with what the community is saying, and they see what the community is saying. So the fact that we brought up the weapons, being able to choose a weapon, like with Grux, I want to use these cleaves instead of these ones, like that's something that they can potentially do. It comes down to how hard is it to do it, and when can we have it implemented? Because maybe it won't be ready by full release. Maybe it won't be ready by year 2 of full release. But maybe it's something they can implement year 3, and it's like, hey, we got this. This is now a change. You can now do this from now on.
I feel like that's one of those things that they're going to have to take some time to put in, like the foundation, like we said. Very similar to how patch 13 allowed them to start adding animations, like, passives start glowing, like Greystone we talked about. He was blind as hell, but now I didn't even realize it until today. I was playing and I'm like, I'm sorry, not yesterday. I was playing and I'm like, hey man, why the fuck is my shield glowing? There's like this little orb, like this little radiance coming out of my shield. What the hell is that? And somebody was like, oh, that's your passive because you got it. I'm like, oh, okay, dope. So the fact that they were able to apply the foundation and get that going is just dope. You get me?
Right.
So I think if they were to add a system like that, that'd be the very, very same thing. They would probably take a while to implement, but once they got the bone works in there, they could probably just start switching and adding, new weapons and shit like that, probably very, very easily.
Definitely. I mean, I think it's possible that they are a team. What I do like about them as well is, like you said, they'll look at other successful MOBAs and they take from that, and then they kind of adapt it to fit their game. If it's not broke, don't break it.
I can't take you seriously when you're wearing that mask.
I got 7 more minutes.
I can't, bro. I'm honestly surprised he found a mask that fixed him like that.
You saying his head's
Why
big?
are you saying me? You took the words right out of my mouth.
Bro, I'm saying he's in a gold. Like, yeah. That's the type of shit I expect to see at like the Halloween store that pops up that once a year, and then it's gone.
Amazon.
I'm proud of you. But no, so let me ask this.
Fluff actually sent it to me. The Fluff 93. You all know who he is.
You can, bro.
Ooh.
So I was actually going to say,
no longer the Fluff.
before we even start concluding here, I just wanted to ask you guys about something that Bacon Doctor in the chat said. How do you guys feel about reactive skins?
I'm all about it.
Like skins that level up as the game progresses.
It's a way
like they change colors or
that doesn't actually affect gameplay because you can always check level if you tab. So it doesn't like affect gameplay really. But if you're playing somebody that's a little less mechanically inclined that doesn't check that shit, it's still a bit of a flex.
I think that would be dope.
It'd be awesome.
Bro,
I like that idea. I like it a lot.
Like imagine reactive skins to where you start off with skinny Greystone, and then the more you get leveled up, the more armor he starts getting, for example. The beefier he gets, and then by the end of it, he ends up being a fucking linebacker or some bullshit with shoulder pads and shit.
Or Sevarog has like fire coming out of the spikes.
Well,
the more he levels up.
Well, I was gonna say Sevarog is a great example of that because Sevarog is a reactive character. He changes as his stacks grow. So we already know they have that potential. The question would be whether it's worth implementing. Hold on. What are you saying about my name now, bro?
Right above it. Right above what he said, what Mangu said your name.
I can't, bro. Anyway.
What about like reactive skins to items you get, right? So let's say Mangu's playing Richter.
Items.
Right? And he puts
What? So he played Richter? That never happens.
Exactly. It doesn't happen hardly ever. But when he does play Richter, like if he puts on like Bale armor, he gets like something happens with his skin that like Bale armor is reactive that way. Like, all right, if he gets Bale armor and then the blighted chest plate, he just kind of becomes more, like he starts putting on more chest plates or something like that. Obviously not more chest plates, but like his skin reacts to it, like however, like whatever he's wearing, like he now has more armor on,
That might be a little too much though. Like,
that sounds like a lot of work for all the items.
Coming back to ethereal a little bit, we've seen that like where particle effects can be way too much sometimes. Like it's confusing to the eye when you're on the screen. Like if you have way too many. And I think having various particle effects for different items that you pick up would probably be way too much. I think having a different look to the skin as you level up is really cool, but based on items, I don't like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be real. I
just stand around. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying, or if Magus is just standing around with Richter and he starts oiling his chains.
That could be an emo. I mean, that could be
40.
That could be an emo.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say is we already have an example of what you're talking about, Bearded. That's called War Aegis. That bubble that pops up to block that one ability. Yeah, and you remember putting
Aegis.
That's so
Aegis,
necessary,
whatever, bro. But we've seen that item specifically when it was first implemented. When that bubble gets applied to the Narbash, it does not look the same as that bubble getting applied to Countess. You feel me? And there was a lot of tinkering just to make that one item work out for a bunch of people. So, hey man, bro, y'all, I can't with y'all. Get me out. I can't with y'all. Yeah, y'all are special. Y'all are special in the chat. Get me out. Tiag too.
You'd get a sub, he said. He'd sub to that.
So Glenbo's saying, how about progressively, like if you're building tank or green or red or blue and etc., that your character reacts to the colors that you're building? I don't know how that would be implemented. Like what? Like if you're a Murdock and you're building red, you start shooting red. But if you start building predominantly purple, you start shooting purple now or something. I don't know. Maybe physically how you look.
If you're mixed building though, like how's that gonna work? You know, if
majority maybe.
Red,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it'd be interesting because it'd be like a visual indicator to let people know that you're building that tree path without looking. You know, for those individuals that don't look at the scoreboard.
He said, "Scratch that idea. Too much for the devs now."
Yeah, like that. That's what I'm saying. Like Mangu said for the items too. It's just so much work that has to be tinkered on a character by character basis that it might not be worthwhile. Whereas opposed to a skin that you specifically design to be progressive, it's a one and done sort of deal, you know?
Right.
You don't want to have to go back and adjust that item for new characters that you added every single time and do that with every single item. It's just too much workload, TBH. Now, let's do this because we're reaching on that time frame right about that 2 hour mark because holy shit, we talk too much. So
yeah, we do.
It was great that everybody showed up too. We have all these people here talking in chat. It was great.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
It definitely made it a lot easier for us to keep going. We're built off of you guys. So every Friday, this is what we'll be.
For sure. Now, let's go ahead and do our outros here. Stunt, is there anything that you would like to say before we say our goodbyes here?
Yeah, I just want to thank the community. I would just want to thank everybody that's sticking around. I know coming into this partner panel, it's amazing how you get so many ideas and you're able to talk to all the community members and get their opinions and stuff. And thanks for that. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for showing up. And always thanks to you guys for having me on here. It's always fun.
Oh, definitely. Well, we love having everybody on here, and yeah, again, like you said, everybody showing up. It was great to see it. Magus,
like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more fall content. But for now, this is the Mangoose signing off. You guys have a good one.
Dude, I'm so amazed that he has that so well.
I'm waiting for the Mangoose.
Nah, bro, that's an audio clip.
I know, but he still did it. Like it's his audio.
Yeah, I know. But nah, bro. Say something to the community. Don't give me that generic. Outro.
No, I mean, like, again, what I'll say with Fault is they came out of fucking nowhere and brought us a game that we could buy and play on a day-to-day basis. Maybe not at the times that you want to play. Sometimes you have to switch to EU. Sometimes you have to switch to NA. The player base is kind of small right now, but it's going to grow. And that's a huge accomplishment from them. Like I've said a million times that I kind of prefer Predecessor. Like on a Fault Partners panel, I shouldn't say that, but I kind of prefer Predecessor gameplay. However, Fault is the one that I can play every day. So, you know, if you want a Paragon successor that you can actually plug in and play and have a good time, then Fault's the one for you. And especially once they hit patch 14 and you can play AI matches and you don't have to just get shit on by Smurfs.
Yeah. Yep, for sure.
True.
That's all I have to say.
No, I agree.
Thank you.
Like what you're saying is like a lot of people don't understand is that Fault came out of nowhere. Everybody's Predecessor, is the better one, and they've been working on it a little bit longer than what SMS has. So, the time frame is there. So, but like you said earlier in this episode, SMS has made strides. Like they've made great improvement as we go on, and it's only going to get better. So, I say it almost every episode: stick with us and see what we got going on. When 14 drops, it's going to be a lot of fun because they've already referenced 3 times now that they're going to start marketing once 14 drops. And when marketing happens, the player base is just going to grow. So, because when they start advertising this thing, it's already fun enough to play as it is. Now let's just get it to people who don't even know about it yet.
True. And I'll be real. I'll just add on to everything that you guys said with a simple perspective, like I've mentioned in the past. And just in case y'all didn't know, it's okay to play more than one game and still have preference. Yeah. It is. Yes. It is okay.
Yeah, I don't. It's okay.
Like this isn't politics where you have to choose one side, this side, blah 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 blah, bro. Like low key, I'll be honest. If you like Apex and Battlefield, it's okay. You feel me? If you like League of Legends and Smite, it's okay. If you like Fault and Predecessor, it is okay. Yep. Preferences are normal. You can have a favorite. I might love Apex, but you're still gonna catch me on Battlefield tomorrow morning. You feel me? Like it is. If I wake up in time, you're right. But it is okay to have a preference. Like Mangu said, he prefers a play style of a specific game. Cool. It's normal. Like whatever, right? But at the end of the day, are you laughing at the John McClane one?
Yes. Yes.
I can't with you, bro. The fact that he cracks up because somebody said Die Hard John McCain and he's going ballistic. Get me out. Get me out, bro. Favorites are for try hard and I try hard. Hey, man. Well, again, it's okay to have a favorite. It's okay to have a preference. Yeah. It's okay to play more than one. At the end of the day, just do you. Right?
Yes. Just what you're saying. Just because you prefer something doesn't mean you can't like the other. All right. I prefer Reese's, but I'll eat a Snickers. That doesn't mean.
I'm not going to make a comment.
You did make a comment. So, anyways.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody that tuned in live. Again, if you guys are not aware, over in Bearded's channel, we do this live every Friday. So everybody's more than welcome to join, interact with us, ask us questions and such. If you are watching this on the YouTube in the aftermath, because that's going to be over on my YouTube, we appreciate you sticking around this long. Leave a like, leave a comment, and that's about it, y'all. Till the next time, it's where we're probably going to leave it. Peace out, homies. Thank you for coming.
Peace.
Peace.